Elu. Hey, Kaya.
Yep, that part I know.
Like that.
I'm just looking and everybody hears you.
Choose virtual back.
There we
Eddie.
Eddie!
go. Where is it?
We're learning how to put up a virtual background.
Yeah, I'm waiting for
Can
it.
everybody hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yes.
And I don't know if I'm muted or not.
Hello.
Oh, we can hear you.
There we go.
Can you hear us?
Oh, even better.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no. Eddie,
Eddie.
Okay,
no.
we're like all together.
Eddie, stop.
Okay, good luck, Dad.
Bad. I love that. Will you put your arm out?
Yeah,
Oh, it doesn't work.
that's good.
Oh, it works like that.
You can.
My computer audio has been muted this entire time. I promise I am a professional person, but
No.
Oh,
We're all becoming professional Zoomers. It's
Yeah.
a very new skill.
there are so many features, and yet like the instructions to actually use these features are very vague, and it's just kind of like, good luck. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie, I'm impressed that you knew how to do that. I don't know how to do that.
I had some help, but I knew how to do it. You just
Aw. So
Now, so you know Eddie Linker, producer extraordinaire. Clearly.
my
Alright.
dog has also been bombing my Zoom calls, so he might make an appearance or make a noise. So just don't.
Our cats have been doing that.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, they'll be friends through Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, what a good puppy.
Hello.
I don't know where Bentley is, but I'm sure he'll try and sit on my keyboard at some point.
That'll be good. That'll be a nice surprise.
Oh.
Whoa.
All right, that's
Are
right.
you in
That's
Birmingham?
something.
Yeah.
Sorry, they attacked.
Hey, our cats are being here. Wait, can we
All right.
show them?
Yes. Please. Yes. It's a requirement.
Wait, can you see?
Hi, kittens.
This is Olivia.
Hi.
Her little heart's beating so fast.
She's nervous about making her Zoom debut. You know, it's a tough time. It's a tough thing.
She's been on so many Zoom calls at this point. Her favorite thing is to just come over and like tap on all the keys during it.
Yeah. I think we can get started in just a minute. We are working on getting the live stream up and running. It's telling me that the user has opted out of Facebook, and I don't know if I'm the user or if Sidewalk is the user. I don't know who the
Oh,
user is.
no worries. No
So
worries.
we're trying to figure that out.
No worries.
No problem.
We're excited to be here talking to you. This is very cool.
Thank you guys so much for doing this.
Of course.
Who's Sam? I don't think I know Sam.
Oh, yeah. Sam is a Sidewalk colleague of mine. He's here to help moderate. I've just like heard horror stories about like other organizations getting like Zoom bombed by like, internet trolls, and so I just didn't want to be the only Sidewalk person.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This would be the film for it.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way, so I just wanted some backup.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Sam. Thank you for.
That's funny. It hadn't
being
crossed my mind that is a possibility.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, I get that quarantine probably makes us all very bored, but I cannot fathom being that bored. Like, I don't know that that's what I would be doing, but,
I have a friend that works for one of the e-gaming things, and he's like swamped all the time because there's so many people like coming online and stuff. They could put the whole operation together.
Yeah.
I bet. Oh, I'm sure. I can't believe how fast these cats are running. They're so stir crazy. They are so stir
They're
crazy.
losing their
It's crazy. We gotta eat out on the porch for dinner.
Yeah.
Let them.
aw.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can go ahead and get started. What I'll probably do instead of live streaming is just post the recording, because we're recording right now. Just a heads up. So, I hope that's okay with you guys. If you want to just go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, cool. So I'm Kiwi. I work for Sidewalk Film Center and Cinema, and also Festival, which fingers crossed is still happening in August. And I watched the film last night, and I really loved it. I think you guys all did a great job. And I wanted to know kind of where the idea came from. Like, is it based on personal experience? Was it inspired by another film? Like, kind of walk me through how it became.
Yeah, it's a little bit based on real experience with a lot of fiction on top of it. And the two nuggets of truth are that I was a nanny, and then at a different time in my life, I did get an abortion. And so then when I started to think about this story, I wanted to juxtapose those events in one summer and see how they kind of ping-ponged off of each other. To me, that would be fertile ground for a lot of drama and a lot of comedy. If somebody decides not to be a parent, at the same time, they're being paid to be a parent during the day, or at least a stand-in parent.
Yeah, that makes sense. When did you start kind of writing?
Yeah, I started writing in January of 2018, and miraculously, we shot that summer.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very fast process, and one that I can't imagine us ever having again. But at the time, it was so like maddening and fun, because it was like there was no time to kind of like second guess things. It was just like, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 21 days in July, or 20 days in July, and then a pickup in September. So it was very fast, all for the South by deadline. So it was tight, but fun. Between responding to an email, between Eddie responding to one of my emails, we made a movie.
Eddie.
I'm mostly depressed because I just got a medal in Animal Crossing that said I have played Animal Crossing 20 days in a row. So I'm really impressed that you guys made this movie in 20 days.
I think that's something to be proud of. You have consistency.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, chopping down virtual trees is just really helping me maintain my sanity right now.
For sure.
So it seems like everybody in the film kind of had a really good rapport. Like, did you work mostly with people you already knew, or did you have to sort of look outside of your usual circle to cast and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Oh, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I would say down to the smallest role, everybody was offered their part. So it was all actors we knew. I mean, Kelly had in mind most of the leads, like the two lead women, Lily and Charin, who played Maya and Annie. They were both folks that Kelly had worked with before, admired incredibly, all the way to the woman who says, the woman who ruins Harry Potter in the waiting room. She got that offer email.
Yeah, and the only actor who that wasn't the case for was Ramona, who plays Frances.
Yeah,
And we had never met her before. We found her through
she's
we found her through this amazing casting office called PR Casting, and she was a total find. And then built that rapport very quickly. Very quickly, she liked us, luckily, and we got along with her really well, and she's a super fun, cool kid.
Yeah, we would do like readings of the film just to kind of workshop it leading up to the shoot. We always had a older actor playing Ramona during those readings, so she was all real, all fresh on the day. So
cool. Yeah, I feel like she encapsulates this like part of childhood that I very distinctly remember, where you're sort of like confused by adults and kind of just doing your own thing. Yeah, so I thought she was really good. Did you did you kind of spend time with her to build rapport with her, or did you just kind of click right away?
Yeah, not really. We had one like hangout date at her ice skating rink because she's an amazing ice skater.
Yeah.
Where she was basically like, we rewrote that for her. Originally, Frances was a soccer player. And then once we found out she was an amazing ice skater, we were like, well, she needs to ice skate in the movie.
Yeah.
So we had like one hangout and one barbecue at a friend's house. And then a lot of the bonding was done on set. But I mean, I think it helps that like very different from my character, I love kids. And I like really liked being a nanny. And I like hanging out with like fun, smart kids. Oh my God, Eddie. Jim Truefrost has arrived.
You got a real joker down there. Tucker, is this? Do you know him, by the way? Because we don't know him, Eddie. No. We're getting Zoom bombed right now.
Yes, I'm just afraid that I'm going to turn myself into a potato and not be able to change it back, like that one lady. So she was like,
I would be so delighted if that happened. See, this is what happens. Our cat just like comes in and hangs out.
This is what you get. This is real life. Hey, Charin.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, and yourself?
I'm good. I'm Kiwi. I'm the facilitator, Zoom person. I don't know. Welcome.
Very happy to be here.
I don't even know what question we were talking about. We were talking about cats and becoming a Zoom potato.
And Ramona, dear Ramona, and Charin and Ramona had a very like instant connection too. That was a really cool thing to witness.
Yeah.
I was so smitten with her.
Yeah.
So darn adorable. It was kind of hard not to fall for her. I remember we were doing they were setting up for a take, and I had a fake belly, and I went to lie on her bed, and she curled up next to me. It was the cutest thing. It was the cutest thing. She was pretty darn adorable.
I remember that.
That's really
so great.
Yeah, one of the things that struck me about this is like the whole feel of the film is very intimate, but it feels very organic. I feel like there are movies that are like this that end up feeling kind of manufactured, and this movie really doesn't. So that was something that I really liked. Were there any challenges like kind of in filmmaking that you didn't really anticipate that you ran into and you ended up having to like rewrite something, or because it really feels like it's presented as it was made start to finish. So I guess I'm curious if there was anything that you had to change. I mean, kind of like her being a soccer player, or was there anything that you had to change?
The first scene was a reshoot. It was a scene that wasn't originally in the film. where Bridget's at the party and this guy is going on about how terrible his nightmare is, and that nightmare is Bridget's life. That was not in the original script. And then as we started to do rough cuts in the movie, we very quickly learned that people need a more solid introduction to this character. They need to know where she is in life or where she isn't. They need to know how old she is, and something to set the tone of the film really quickly.
Yeah, people were literally like the film used to begin with the sex scene and then go into the driving montage. And people were like, why am I watching this woman drive for so long? I don't even know who she is.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like, oh, how much information can we cram into this one opening moment? But other than that, I think mostly we just realized how much of the film was going to be people's faces from a filmmaking standpoint. So it was sort of adjusting with that style, that kind of like organic style that you talked about, and trying to find ways for that not to be the case. So we're not just going from a face to a face to a face to a face. So you get a little bit of that summer neighborhood too, not just the people in it.
Yeah, it definitely made me want to take a walk. Like after I finished, I was like, man,
I know. Wait, can I show you our cat right now? I mean, I'm obsessed with our cats, but he is all of us, if you're able to see him. He is just staring out the window.
outside.
He's like, let me out.
My dog is chewing on something indeterminate. I'm hoping it's not something that doesn't agree with him. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was there,
Hi, doggy. He's upstairs.
yeah. A chorus of pets are serenading. Were there any like kind of visual influences that you guys had kind of looked to when you were describing this film, or kind of pitching it to the folks that you were pitching it to?
Well, Kelly's big ask was that it be bright, that it have like a brightness to it. And so weirdly, we didn't look to any bright films for inspiration. It was like we looked at films that were emotional but could have been cheesy, but came across as genuine. So like Coming Home, which was this Vietnam War film that Hal Ashby did, and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, because there are a lot of two shots in that. But it was really more about like trying to find maybe like the less likely comps for the movie, so that we didn't end up just doing what we'd seen before, like doing a summer movie, doing a rom-com, doing a buddy comedy. But yeah, the emphasis was on just like organic, kind of natural, not giving too much weight to anything, letting the script do that.
Yeah. Well, I think you pulled it off, if that helps.
Right.
Charin, I'm curious about you and Lily's relationship. I really felt like, it felt very real. So did you guys kind of work on your characters together, or did you kind of do that separately and just like sort of, do a little bit of work together, but not a ton?
You know what? A lot of it was already in the script. So we were very fortunate that we had a really great script to work with. And I love working with Lily, and I love being around her. So maybe that you were able to see that on the screen, that I just loved being around her, and I'm a huge admirer of her. We did have a conversation before we shot. I believe, Kelly, we got together at like a Whole
Foods. Yeah.
We talked about our story, and so that helped. But honestly, it was we really just relied on the script, and I think because the script was so strong, I think it was easy to for the character work to come through.
Yeah, that makes sense. I felt like the dialogue was really strong, so that makes sense.
The first day, Alex asked us to improvise, which was a lot of fun. It just.
I thought it was very fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. We just went off the.
Oh yeah. It's funny. I think some of your reaction shots that we used were from the improv.
Yeah, because they're
too.
so like full of joy. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd be surprised what ended up in there.
And so the beauty about doing those, I think it informed, because the improv was based on what we were doing, what we were talking. So I think that really, and it was the first day, so I think it really helped us get a little more insight on how the stuff that you may not see on the screen, but the behind. And I think we did, because of that day, we did a lot of improvising. So I think that helped us kind of solidify the relationship, or not solidify, to guide us what the relationship was going to be like, and also a little insight on our how our sense of humor. So
yeah. And I remembered Charin and Lily had to improvise a fight for sound, like well after the movie had wrapped, for, when Francis and Bridget are walking outside and they hear Maya and Annie arguing. And I remember being in the other room listening to that improvised fight, being like, this feels so real. Like even after the movie was done, just hearing that audio, I was like, these characters feel so real, so lived in. And I think it's because Charin, you and Lily are so good, and you just bring your whole selves to the characters.
it was a good time.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome, what we do. We get to fight, we get to have these experiences, and especially after the fight, we did it, and I was like, yeah, we've had I may or may not have had an argument.
Right.
Yeah, it felt so real. Yeah. Oh, Brady.
I'm also curious about Max, or his character's name was Jace, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't get a ton of screen time, but I feel like he really uses it really well. Was he based on a real person, or did you guys kind of work together on his character, just help him make the most of his minutes?
Yeah, his character is just like a guy who like is doing the right thing. He may not do it in like the most articulate way, but it was really important for both of us to have a male character who like handles it pretty well, and models really good behavior. And then Max.
Yeah, I'd always wanted to work. Well, actually, it's so funny because I keep saying I'd always wanted to work with Max, but I actually had done a really bad pilot with him, or not a bad pilot, just not a very good one. That disappeared. You know how those things happen in Chicago. They just disappeared with the wind. And I just love him, and I love his face so much, and it just made sense. So I kind of stacked the deck for the casting director. We saw people for that role, and then I went and I filmed Max's audition, and then I sent it to them, and I was like, this guy sent in a tape. I think he's really good. And they were like, yeah, if you all like him, sure, that's great. But he brought so much joy and like a quiet like generosity to the part. I think, because if you're identifying with the character you look like, and you're sort of a man watching this film, I think it's nice that you have two choices, and one of them is definitely shitty, and the other one is Max. And you're like, all right, I'll go with that. I'm
waiting to dish on Guitar Guy. Like oh my gosh, I wanted to punch him so much. I mean, I have no confidence beyond that. This is like really got under my skin because
that's the thing. It's like, that guy who's like for some reason always got a guitar with him, and it's just like talks about things in a way that you're like, he can't actually be saying these things, but he says them totally earnestly. Yeah, and it was important for me to show that like Bridget kind of regresses in that moment. That she, you know, there's somebody who is asking her to talk about her feelings, and instead of doing that, she like regresses back to her teenage self and like goes for the asshole. Yeah, but he is the worst.
Yeah. Jim wrote several original songs for the film that got cut. At least one. He played 2, but yeah.
And it should be said that Jim Trufrost, who is making an appearance behind Eddie Linker right there, is the kindest, nicest person in the world. So I think it was good casting that he got to play.
It did not occur to me that was the same person until just now. So I'm glad you said that. Like he looks familiar.
I'm obsessed with your backdrop. I can't stop staring.
I thought
Change it.
Eddie, I thought that was your high school prom picture.
It was. I had good hair back then.
I mean, that's not just good hair. That's great hair, Eddie.
I know.
Not this
feel bad, so I shaped it to this.
I
Generous to a fault.
clippers for my dog, and I'm very worried that I'm going to have to use them on myself because this undercut is not going to maintain itself, unfortunately.
This is a home haircut right here.
Yeah.
Alex's sister cut that.
I mean, I don't have too much to begin with, but my sister did this. She gave all the gentlemen in the house the same cut.
Hey, solidarity.
Yeah,
right.
We're all in this together.
I have a friend of mine. We were Zooming, and she's like, guess what? And we're like, what? She's like, I've been cutting my hair. I can't stop. And we're like, how many times have you cut your hair? She's like, every day.
Wow. Just like when you lose track of time, you just find yourself with scissors.
And what day of the week is that?
She had a turban, and she looked so gorgeous in the turban. But then she admitted that it was because she's been cutting her hair. So I mean, it's tempting. It's very tempting.
I'm worried I'm going to dye my hair. I think it's probably 3 weeks away. That I'm just going to dye it a weird color and then instantly regret it. I'll dye it like pink, something that really doesn't go with my skin tone. And then...
do it. This is the time to do it.
Yeah, this is a great time to experiment with your appearance because, I mean, besides Zoom, nobody's going to see you. So if
that's
true. Work, then you have time to grow it out or fix it.
You've convinced me. I'll move up the timeline. It was 3 weeks.
Now it's tomorrow.
Dad, it's not my fault.
It's just I blame it on myself.
Wow, what a range of a conversation that we've already had. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I really love this film. I think you guys all did a great job. What is next for you?
We're both working on projects. I've got a film that is in development about political violence. And we're
and I have a film about teenage grief. Very different things.
But
both very fun.
Yeah. Fun.
They are fun.
Laugh out loud.
Yeah. They've got laughs. They've got yucks for sure. We're adding yucks every day, which
except for all the killings.
Yeah. All right, Eddie, don't spoil it.
That's right. Eddie has seen both of our scripts actually.
Yeah. So Eddie will be involved. This Francis producers on the producer side will be involved in both. So should be
whether they want to or not.
Yeah,
they've signed up.
No
they've
choice.
made this blood call.
Yeah. There's no beginnings in sight, but there's no end either. So it's looking good.
Optimism.
That's right.
Yeah.
Awesome. I feel like the scene that stood out the most to me was the scene at the end where you're taking Ramona or Francis to school. I hadn't cried until that point, and I'm usually a movie crier, and I was very proud of myself. And then it all just went to shit. So
you're not alone.
Oh, excellent. I wish I could have watched it in the theater, so I could have been sobbing with like 20 other people. But that's okay. Bentley, my dog, was a great comfort.
Yeah.
You know, he started chewing on his feet, which made me laugh. So then I kind of
Yeah.
got into it again. But you know, was that hard to film? I feel like, especially when you're on a condensed production timeline, like emotions are running high, and you know, I feel like that would be hard for me to do.
It was very hard to film. Our cat
Sorry.
is.
I don't know why she chose this moment. I'll keep her tail down for propriety's sake.
Cat buttholes allowed.
You gotta censor her.
It was hard to film just because we actually filmed it twice. We shot it and then we reshot it just because we felt like we could do it one better than what we got the first time.
Yeah.
But there were some really lovely moments of surprise in there, like getting to see all the other kids in the classroom. That makes me emotional because all of a sudden you kind of like zoom out.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, right, there are stories connected to all of these kids.
Yeah.
And like all their parents dropping them off, going something, and it just like widens
the Raven. What is it? The Ravenswood Nursery or
day school, something day school.
Yeah, it's this beautiful nursery day school up in the suburbs, and they just have such a dedicated following that there are like parents who went there whose kids now go there. So all those extras were like not just the kids but the parents actually went to that school. So it's their classroom. So there was a bit of that like organic thing built in where it was like, this is like, just go about your day. I don't know why I'm pretending like this is normal. I thought she was going to get off like at least 15 seconds ago. I'm so sorry. This actually hasn't happened on any other Zoom calls.
I feel truly blessed that it's happening right now.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Especially because it's just her butt. Like she won't even turn her. Okay, maybe now.
She's got a real cute face too. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of the few scenes that we storyboarded. Because we knew that it was kind of complicated. We didn't want Ramona to get confused, run now, scream now. But it was fun. It was fun. It was one of the last things we filmed with her. So it was actually quite heartbreaking for us too.
Yeah. What ended up being the last thing that you did?
Last was the first scene actually.
Oh yeah, because that wasn't originally right. That makes sense.
Yeah, actually, the very last thing we filmed was the Hell is Real billboard. That was our DP and I went out very early in the morning and filmed a billboard. But the last thing we filmed with the whole crew was in the convenience store when Bridget goes to get when she has the Cocoa Puffs and the wine.
And gets a pregnancy test.
Yeah. So yeah, we had celebratory tacos ready after that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Eddie, what are you looking at?
Someone just came downstairs and saw us seeing who was there, who was going to pop in.
How do you get into your screen? You can't. Ah, there you go.
Hi, Susie.
Hey, Susie.
A lot of people.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. It's nice to see you.
Get Susie's head on my body there.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
It's actually one of my favorite things about Zoom calls is like there's chaos. It's like you never know what's going to happen, but I actually really love it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Where are you Kelly, where are you? And Alex, can you guys disclose this?
Yes.
We're in a secure government facility. No, we're in my family's cabin in Kentucky.
Oh, nice.
We actually got out of Chicago like 3 weeks ago, almost over 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a long time now.
So smart.
Yeah, it's
so
been
smart.
It's been nice.
It's been nice to be able to go outside.
Yeah. There's a lot of
inside. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
There it is. Perfect lighting now.
Beautiful. My dog is wanting to dig a hole in my carpet. So if you hear a furious digging noise, that's what he's.
We're all showing our anxiety in different ways.
Yeah.
I get it.
Aww.
Oh.
Now he's looking at me. He's like, "Are you talking about me?"
Mm-hmm.
Charin, how are the girls?
I'm sorry?
How are the girls?
Oh, good. Really good. So Navia, this is her 8th grade.
Yeah.
So at her school, they usually go to, for the 8th grade, they usually do a cultural exchange. And she was going to go to Spain, Madrid, so that fell through, but she's handling it all so well.
That's
Um,
unfortunate. Yeah,
student-
our girls went to LaSalle.
Okay, let's not make it
Oh,
a personal
it's,
chat.
sorry, it's being recorded. Okay, never mind.
Sorry, our cat's almost. This is chaos.
It's okay. Yeah, we've had cat buttholes and
Yeah. Yeah, you,
so
you missed a shot.
it was a performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Eddie, I feel like we haven't heard much from you. I don't want to put you on the spot. I mean, I'm glad that you're Kelly and Alex's cheerleader with them in the background, but I feel like you
Share your wisdom, Eddie, or your grievances. This
Yeah.
is an opportunity to say all the things you had a problem with.
I was going to tell you what a great actor I was and that I was really Ramona, but I guess that won't work.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Transformative.
I'm still trying to figure out why I came on this call, but I don't know.
Well, Eddie,
I probably wouldn't have been involved with the movie if my wife hadn't come to dinner one time with Alex and Kelly, because I would have been like, yeah, another movie. But then I
well,
went home to watch it. I came on once they had like it wasn't color corrected or anything, but the film was pretty much done at that point. And I came on. I went home. We went out to dinner. I came home that night and I started to watch it. And I said, "Oh crap, this is really good." And then I told my wife, "You probably want to watch this with me." And then we're probably 3/4 through the movie, and she's crying, and I'm like, "Yeah, I think we got to be involved in this." So next thing I know, I'm in St. Francis and on a Zoom call. So it's all great.
Laugh and type fast.
Eddie,
Yeah.
what was the most surprising part of the process for you?
For me,
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Besides
I
getting
did really enjoy. I never like going to film festivals. It's like really stressful for me on a lot of levels. I'm usually there and trying to sell or help sell a movie, and this was totally different because everybody. I mean, Alex and Kelly had this band of supporters for the movie, and they were all so excited. Like, we're in the movie business, we're going to make millions and millions of dollars, and I'm sitting there going, well, we'll probably be able to sell it, So, but everybody was so excited that made it really fun, even to the point where I was like passing out tickets for the premiere. And I think one of the people I gave tickets to actually helped get Alex and Kelly their agent or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
right.
right. They saw it. Yeah, they saw it. They got your ticket. They saw it, and they sat next to our agents on a plane back.
Yeah.
And they had a conversation about it, and now we're millionaires.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, now we're glamping in the woods.
Quite the opposite. But.
Yeah, with our street cats. One of them's winking at me right now. It doesn't look natural the way she's doing it. She's just falling asleep.
No, but Eddie's been really integral to the film's life.
Yeah.
I really think that Eddie, we couldn't have done it without you, and I really mean that. You were Susie.
Yeah, you could have, but I'll take some credit when I can. Sure.
Yeah.
I complain a lot to them, and just ask Alex where he's going to do sound, and I start sweating.
Yeah. We'd already made the deal with Skywalker before Eddie came on board, and he said, "You what? What's the budget?" But no. I think a lot of filmmakers hear that the starting line for a film is once you finish it, and they sort of balk at that. But to put it into perspective, pen to paper or finger to keystroke, the film was done in less than a year, and now the life of the film has been over far, far beyond that. So I'm as grateful for the folks who were there on day one than for the folks who came in at the second starting line, I guess. So it's been really nice.
Yeah, filmmaking can be a long process, and even at the beginning, it's like so condensed, and you're exhausted, and so it's always good to have some fresh eyes and someone who maybe isn't quite super burned out as you to help.
That's for
yeah,
sure. Yeah,
yeah.
somebody who can say like, no, actually, this is good.
Yeah.
That's really important.
And then to have, arts organizations and festivals like Sidewalk to be able to like recontextualize the film and make it feel fresh for you again just by talking about it.
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for doing this. I feel like this is probably one of the weirder Q&As that you've done.
I love this, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I like that it's casual. I like seeing everybody's pets. It's a good reminder that like we're all outside of the industry. We're all people who are like, I don't know, weird and in this together. And
Yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah.
By far, probably the best one I've ever done. Might be the only one.
Oh, I'm taking that.
You nailed it.
I'm going to use that and ask for a raise.
You should.
Yeah.
I know Stacy, so put a good word in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to share with anyone who hasn't seen the film yet? Because we're gonna post this on the film page on our website, so people can watch it after they've watched it, or maybe to convince them to watch it. I don't feel like there's too many spoilers if you don't know any of the characters' names, but
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I just hope people get to it. It's been really amazing seeing how broad the quarantined love has been. So even in isolation, it's been cool to see people get their hands on the movie one way or another. So
Yeah.
very heartening. But yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for doing
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks all for joining. I hope you all stay safe. And
Yeah,
you too.
you're in your cabin in Kentucky.
Yeah,
Yes.
with our kittens.
Yeah. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Aw.
Bye, Beauty. I'm gonna
Bye.
choose you. Pepper, you wanna say hi? You wanna say hi?
Oh, what a good dog.
Oh my God.
We are so in love with him. He's such a cutie pie. We are so in love with him. Thank you guys. Have a
Hey,
good
you
Thursday.
guys.
Bye, everyone.
Oh.